All right. Go ahead with your opening or whatever.
Okay, this is Automated Judeo Christian. I have a YouTube channel titled Automated Judeo Christian. Just firstly, how long have I got for my opener?
I don't care. Go.
Okay, I'll just start again. This is Automated Judeo Christian. I have a YouTube ministry titled Automated Judeo Christian. It is the same as my avatar here, so it shouldn't be too hard to follow. I primarily debate Judeo-Christian presuppositionalism. I am God's best friend. God and I have sex. God reveals to me information on who's in the book of life or not. God is touching the left side of my head right now as we are speaking. This has been going on for over 2 years. So straight to the argument. So my ultimative categorical argument / syllogism: if A is in C, then B is in C. Premise 1. So firstly, you can find out my syllogism through
Wait. Go back. What was the? Can you say the syllogism again?
It's an ultimative categorical argument /
syllogism. What's the syllogism?
Proving Judeo-Christian
No. Just what is the ABC part? What is the ABC part?
If A is in C, then B is in C.
That's literally invalid.
It's not.
It's if water is in the cup, then potatoes are in the cup. If A is in C, then B is in C. That doesn't make any sense.
It does. So it can either be it can be directly or indirectly in the conclusion. Premise 1. So you can find this out. You can follow.
Stop speaking. Say it again slowly. So if A is in C, then B is in C. That's the conclusion, right?
Yes, as I was saying, you can
if
follow
water
along
is in
through...
the cup, then a potato is also in the cup. Is that a rational conclusion?
Not necessarily, as I said.
Right. So the conclusion
can be
does not follow from the premise.
This is my opener. You need to give
and you
me
said
time.
Something that was just so wrong. It was baffling.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. As I was going to
I literally just proved it was wrong. What?
Allow me. It's not. Allow me to finish. For you and the listeners, you can follow along my syllogism, which is found within the About page of my YouTube channel. So this is a categorical syllogism.
No, it's not. It's just false.
It is. It's not false.
It's called affirming the consequence.
It's not necessarily.
Necessarily.
Directly, it's not necessarily.
It's necessarily.
So premise 1, it's not necessarily.
It's necessarily.
So premise 1, it's not necessarily. You're interrupting me. So premise 1, categorically, God's biblically / awesomely ultimate truthful love, complementing sacred theology, the creator-creature distinction, perfect being theology.
That's all gibberish.
Facts.
That doesn't make sense.
It's not. It does. Hang on. God's prescriptive laws of logic / thought. Premise 2, categorically, God authorized the Bible / biblicalism, complementing special revelation, evidentialism, epistemic foundationalism. Conclusion: thus, Judeo-Christian presupposition follows, accommodating the law of rational inference. You have to pay attention, please. You have to respond to this. So just to justify premise 1...
I already debunked it in the first sentence, so we can just go back to that.
You haven't. Hang on. You just presuppose God. For you to say something is wrong, you presuppose God as he is ultimate truthful love.
Gibberish. Your syllogism is invalid.
It's not for you to say that something is invalid. You reference God as he is ultimate truthful love. So to justify the creator-creature distinction...
Your syllogism is gibberish and invalid. That's all I need to do. I don't need none of the other words in your sentence.
You're presupposing God.
I don't until you can prove that your syllogism is not invalid.
You have to paraphrase. You have to paraphrase my entire opener. So you have to pay attention. So To justify premise 1 with sacred theologies, the creator-creature distinction, so categorically, God's biblically/awesomely ultimate truthful love through sacred theology, dichotomously accommodating the creator-creature distinction that biblically accommodates Deuteronomy 29:29, 1 Corinthians 2:7-12, Psalms 19:1-4, Romans 1:17-20, Romans 2:14-15, and 2 Peter 3:9. More detailedly, ontotheology/agape theism connaturally entails an affectionate ambition for fatherhood, therefore the actualization of beings with divine revelation for knowledge/presuppositionalism amid certainties. Even more detailedly, a biblically/awesomely ultimate truthful lover
Now I can
defaultly
make up a
Are you done yet?
imaginary friend with
benevolent,
different properties and call that a god.
benevolent.
Those are equal. They're exactly
Like,
the same.
like
You
gibberish
got
words,
back-
not an argument.
It's
So my
not. You've
definition of
got.
a god
It is an
supersedes
argument.
equal to
This
your
is my
definition of God is
justification.
Yahweh.
You've
Both
you've
just
got
things
background
we've made up.
noise.
There's not a
Oh
God.
yeah,
You've
I'm listening to
And-
a different. I'm making a different video on my phone. So tell me when you're done.
Well, yeah, you have to paraphrase this. So I hope you're paying attention. So even more detailedly, even more detailedly, an ultimate truthful lover defaultly elicits benevolent eagerness for fathership, thus the embodiment of minds with general/natural revelation for their comprehensibility amidst facts. Again, even more detailedly, a biblically/awesomely absolute, ageless being/omniscience defaultly is absolutely self-loving, entailing the loving appetite for parenthood, therefore the actualization of consciousnesses with sacred theology for their intelligibility among factualities. So that's premise 1. So premise 2, to justify that.
Are you still not done yet?
Look, how long have I got? I need to know because I've got quite a lot here.
Oh my god! Like none of it. Like you were wrong in the first sentence, so we could just start with that.
I'm not. You just presuppose God. So
Gibberish,
tell
gibberish,
me. I need to
gibberish.
know.
So I'm not going to respond to anything you say beyond the first sentence until you address the stuff that we've talked about in the first sentence. That's the part we're going to start with, and I'm going to ignore everything else you said until we address the first sentence.
How long have I got left? I need to know.
I don't care.
Otherwise,
You paid for the time. We can waste it however you'd like. I'm just not going to listen or address anything until we address the first sentence. So you can keep speaking, but we're not going to talk about anything until you address the first sentence. So we can just start with that.
well, you're presupposing God biblically. So
Wait.
categorically.
So again, do you want to address the first sentence, or do you want to just keep jabberishing on?
I will continue on.
Okay.
I'll justify it, and then I'll let you know when I'm finished. So categorically, the noun absolute affirms a biblically/awesomely permanent immaterial being as libertarian free will is independent through the law and spiritual law of cause and effect. Thus, God sources possibilities and impossibilities, biblically accommodating Psalms 111-7 and 8. Meta-ontotheologically, analogically, a simple analogy of God's consciousness about causality would be that of a ripple/domino effect, but with 3 singletons in this case. And semantically, changing God with singleton A is fine. So if singleton A internally acted to activate singleton B, then singleton A has libertarian free will, aka life. On the contrary, if an external cause affected singleton A to actuate singleton B, then singleton C activated singleton A, dichotomically generating the impossibility of infinite regression connaturally due to vicious circularity. Categorically, infinite regressions connaturally are impossible because it is a contradiction in terms, aka in Latin philosophy, a contradictio in terminus. the adjective infinite is changeable with the Latin mathematical adverb ad infinitum, as entities to infinity are contingent on our omnipresent / infinitude and size Christological God. Lastly, the sham of infinite regressions defaultly bears the mathematical constant of pi as an irrational number, as the circumference of a circle is finite, contingent on our omnitude, Judeo-Christian God. Conditionally, if God's absolute, then meta-ontotheological knowledge / presuppositionalism follows. Meta-ontotheological knowledge / presuppositionalism follows via sacred theology, therefore God's absolute. Disjunctively, if God's not
all right, that's
absolute,
enough time. You've wasted the opening time enough. All right, so first
can
syllogism.
I have a brief? Can I have like 1 minute to justify premise 2?
Sure.
Okay, just give me a moment. I have to scroll down to read it word for word. Just a moment. And I will set a timer on my phone so I don't go over 1 minute. Okay, so categorically, God authorized the Bible / biblicalism, accommodating evidentialism / epistemic foundationalism. More detailedly, ontotheology / agape theism accommodates Genesis 1:1 to Revelation 22 verse 21 for fallen humans to cross-reference actualities before acquiring heavenly rewards. Biblically, accommodating Romans 3:23 and Jeremiah 17:10. Even more detailedly, God wants his ultimate truthful lovingness known within early scripture. More categorically, Genesis 1:1, so people can know he exists above abstract gods. Again, even more detailedly, God's immaterial and truthful lovingness entails the creation of energy and matter with the epistemic truthfulness of it through Genesis 1:1 for fallen humans to rightly maintain their dualism. That's my open up.
Right.
What is your
okay.
response to premise 1?
Your argument was invalid if A is
Just
in
presuppose
C.
God.
If A is in C, then B is in C. It's an invalid argument. So everything you've said is gibberish.
It's not.
How is that not an invalid
It's
argument?
It's a categorical argument / syllogism.
That doesn't
So
make any
every
sense.
argument,
There's no such thing. Categorical.
it does make sense.
Do you know what the word categorical means?
Yes, explicitly / directly.
Yeah. So if
prima facie,
if A is in B, like if water is in the cup, does that explicitly mean that B is in C, that a potato is in the cup? Is that an explicit conclusion from the premise?
your question presupposes
I don't
premise
care.
1
I don't
of my
care. Answer the
argument.
question. You don't get to bring up any other premises. You don't get to bring up any other primitives.
The pronoun I presupposes God because you are a creature.
No. You don't get to bring up any other
God.
primitives. So you get to stick with only the primitives you've presented in the first premise, and then any other primitives are irrelevant. So you don't get to bring up God, don't get to bring up I. Only things you get to bring up are if A is in B, then C is in B. That's it. There's no other words you get to use here. That's invalid.
It's not, because the A represents
what does the word invalid
ultimate
mean?
It
doesn't matter what A represents. It literally makes no difference. You could make it represent.
It does.
Square circles. What does invalid mean?
It means incorrect. So you're possibly
no,
critiquing.
No, it does not mean incorrect.
It can be a synonym. It doesn't have to be your definition. There are multiple definitions.
What in a syllogism? What is an invalid syllogism?
So your question presupposes God.
No, you don't get to bring up God here. So we're sticking with just the syllogism that you brought up in the very first sentence.
You wanted to talk about the letters.
I'm just going to mute you. So you said if A is in B, then C is in B.
I didn't say that.
What?
I didn't say that.
Okay, what was your syllogism?
This is what I said.
Well, this is why I brought it up as soon as you said it. Kiddo, shush. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute you. So this is why I stopped you from your dumb gibberish garbo exactly when you
It's
said the
not.
phrase, so I could address the exact phrase because I could remember it clearly the moment you said the dumb gibberish. Now, making me
It's
wait through all
not.
the other dumb gibberish has made it hard for me to remember the
It's
first
not.
dumb gibberish you said, so I can't remember
It's
it
not.
exactly. So if you want, you can reread the first dumb gibberish sentence in your bullshit opening,
It's
and we can
not.
address it, but I
It's
don't care
not.
about the rest. So pick one stupid, dumb sentence you said, the very beginning one. Let's go with
It's
that.
not. As I've said, you and the listeners
Go
can
back.
follow
What
along.
is...
Stop interrupting
I don't...
me.
No. You're interrupting me.
I'm helping you out
No,
here.
you're not.
You can
You
my
can't help out anyone.
syllogism.
There's the only person you
Syllogism
could help out is someone with an epilepsy, because that's about the only person who can make sense of your gibberish.
my syllogism is listed within my YouTube about
I don't care.
page.
I don't care. What was the
You
very
have
first
to
sentence
care.
you said?
If you have to
I'm
care.
not going to go to your YouTube channel, and the only people here who are going to go to your YouTube channel are going to be to troll you. So tell us the premise, conclusion of your argument.
Okay, so I'll repeat it. In fact, I'll just copy and paste it to you, and then I'll read it out.
I'm not going to read it.
So
I'm not going to read it. Just tell me what it is.
You just asked for the syllogism.
Yes, I
so
want you to read it. I want you to read it.
Yes,
I'm not going to read it. So read. Go.
I will copy and
Stop
paste
talking.
it to
Go.
you.
I'm not going to read it. Go.
Well, you have to listen.
Yes, I can listen to the words you are saying without reading the gibberish on paper. Go ahead and say the words. Say the gibberish so we can understand the gibberish.
For you to say something is gibberish, you reference God as He is ultimate truthful love.
Is this a part of the syllogism?
Yes, it can be. So I'll read it word for word.
It can
again.
be. Yes, go ahead. Read the syllogism.
The premise 1. Categorically, God's biblically / awesomely ultimate.
Absolutely, that does not make sense. That makes about as much sense as colorless green dreams sleep fervently. It makes gibberish sense. You can't use multiple adjectives in a row because the adjectives can't modify the other adjectives. Gibberish. No, that's
slash.
Not, the slash doesn't do anything.
It can be forward slash.
The slash doesn't help. I'm talking about the categorically and the biblically. Those are the two things. The categorically and biblically, those two words don't make sense together. Those are gibberish.
It does.
No.
Categorically, God's biblically / awesomely.
Yes, none of that makes sense. There's too many leaves. There's way too many leaves in that sentence. It's a gibberish sentence that does not make sense.
It's not. For you to say something doesn't make sense, you need to stop interrupting me. For you to say something doesn't, you need to stop interrupting me. You're just making claims. So for you to say stop interrupting me.
True. And yours are gibberish.
Stop interrupting me.
No. You need to go back.
To say,
go back to the syllogism.
I'm refuting your claim.
You're not.
You're
you
to say,
definitely
stop.
Not.
Stop. I've said this over and over again.
No.
For you to say,
potato. You're a potato.
Yeah, for you to identify a potato, you reference God as He is ultimate truthful love.
No, I don't.
The pronoun I, you just did again. The pronoun I presupposes God as He is ultimate truthful love, accommodating the creator-creature distinction. So for you to say something is incorrect, you reference God as He is ultimate truthful love, complementing law.
Yes, Tussbox. This is the shapes dude. That is exactly who this is. This is the shapes dude.
So premise 1, categorically, God's biblically / awesomely.
This doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Can we go through that? Let's go through that really slow.
Don't use our Lord's name in vain.
God damn. God potato. God can suck my potato.
Excuse me.
God potato damn.
Please don't.
God potato damn.
Please don't use it. Please don't. Excuse me.
God potato.
You're using our Lord's name in vain. That's do not use the Lord's name in vain.
Mark Reed asks if you have a sexual relationship with God. That is his question.
Yes, I do. I said that within my opener. He may have joined late.
I didn't hear that part. Which part was that in? What?
My opener maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago. So to repeat my categorical argument / syllogism.
Well, I want to hear about
just
the
read
sexual
it.
relationship with God part. I don't care about the syllogism. Who cares about that? That part's uninteresting.
You have to admit to God's existence first, biblically. So you have to.
I don't need to grant God exists to have some visual imagery here, some images of Phil and God just doing it. I don't need any kind of like to grant God exists. I mean, I can picture you and Jar Jar Binks doing it. I don't need to grant Jar Jar Binks exists.
If you want to talk about my sexual relationship with God, then just admit to his existence first. So I don't have to have a debate mentality, because I was assuming that I would go through each of my premises in more detail. So it's up to you.
First, you have to make them make sense in the simplest way before you can add detail to them. Making them gibberish and not make sense, and then adding more gibberish does not clarify them. That's not how clarification works. Clarification works by starting with something simple and then making it simpler.
I've tried to make this as simple as I can. I've spent.
Super Squid Hunk says, TJump, grant God's existence so we can hear about God's dick. That is a legit argument. Acknowledge the kink. I've spent another
8 hours fine tuning this argument to get it as simple as I can. And then the day before, it was 7+ hours.
Simple as you can get it. Oh my God! You spent 8 hours writing this gibberish. Oh my God! Wow! I think you should pray to God for a better brain.
Just slandering. So you have. I'm assuming you know the what is your definition of God?
Spoons asks, which God are you in a relationship with? The potato God.
Our Judeo Christian God. So I'm asking you a clarifying question because I'm assuming we have the same definition of God. So what is your fundamental definition of God?
The magical potato that created the universe.
That's contradictory because a physical God can't be ultimate, as pantheism or panentheism is subjected to quantum.
You're presupposing the potato by mentioning pantheism. Pantheism presupposes the ultimate potato that created the universe. Suck my potato. I'm in a sexual relationship with the ultimate potato.
Is this potato of yours physical or immaterial?
You're presupposing the potato when you use the words physical and material. The words physical and material presuppose the potato. The potato is ultimately and handsomely of the potato magic, awesomely, in the awesome book of awesomeness.
No, because potato is not the name of God.
Potato is the name of God.
No, because a potato is a label to a finite particular.
When you're using the word label, you're presupposing the magical potato.
No, potato.
Yes. You can't use the word no without presupposing the magical potato. What are you doing? You're presupposing the potato when you say the word no. Suck my potato.
No, because a potato is a contingency.
You said no again. You're presupposing the potato. Nope.
It can only be one God by definition.
Nope.
As there can only be one.
There's only one God,
truth.
And the one ultimate truth God is the awesomely potato of the awesomeness bravely potato. So it's awesome.
No, a potato has edges. It has cusps.
Is it on Pornhub? Says Ozen. Ozen Talks asks, is your sexual relationship with God on Pornhub?
Oh, I haven't seen God's face. The Bible states this. No one has seen his face.
Wait a minute. So you've had a sexual relationship with him and you haven't seen his face. This is how is this accomplished? This seems very interesting.
I will answer this question and then we'll move back to your assertion of a potato deity, which is fallacious. So you're gonna have to repeat that question again. So. How do I God's face? Yeah. So
no. The question was how did you have a sexual relationship with God without seeing his face? Were you facing the other direction? Were you at bottom? Is that how this works?
It's both ways. So through his invisible attributes.
Both ways.
So we go. When I say God and I have sex, what I mean by that is we go through the motions of it. I haven't experienced the full pleasures of sex. However,
Back
God
to
has
Jesus. Yes.
like
It's not how I start my Friday. It's a good reminiscence right there. Yes.
so back to your fallacious claim of a potato deity. It can only be one God
the glory hole.
definitionally.
Yes, it's the glory hole. That is
You need,
legit.
you need
Coffee
to
mom.
stop interrupting me. You're on the hot seat. You made a claim. I'm refuting said claim. So there can only be one God definitionally, as there can only be one ultimate truth, complementing the law of identity. A is A. So the first A represents a singular, eternal,
There is a bag over Yahweh's
all-powerful
face.
being.
That's correct.
You have to respond to this. The second, the
the
second
potato.
A,
You're presupposing the potato when you say the second A. Presupposes the potato.
You're just making an assertion. I've refuted your claim. There can only be one God.
Irony.
There can only be one immaterial, truthful, loving God. More precisely, our God of the Bible. So this goes on to premise 2. So God,
potato. That's good.
So categorically, God authorized the Bible / biblicalism.
He authorized.
What
was that? He authorized it. He authorized it.
Yes, he authorized the Bible / biblicalism, complementing special revelation, evidentialism / epistemic foundationalism. So to summarize my justification from my opener, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens
Lord.
and the earth.
Ben Green's
creation.
Fallacious. I love it. I love it. That's a good one. That's a good one, Ben. I like it.
Creation is an expression of love, and because God is love, he would want to make this known to us within early scripture so that we can focus on loving him, not having to worry about which God exists. So the first 5 words of the Bible, in the beginning God created. Again, a creator God.
Could you
so to
say,
paraphrase,
could you say for me, there's a super chat from Tatted Jedi. He asks for you to please say, "Behold, the atheist nightmare, the banana." Could you please say that for us?
Atheism is illogical because it presupposes God.
Wait. We had a super chat because your accent is very much like Ray Comfort's, and so they wanted to hear you say the Ray Comfort phrase. If you would please, behold, the atheist nightmare, the banana. Could you please say
Behold,
that?
atheist nightmare, banana.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But to justify, you have to respond to this. So just to summarize premise 2, only a loving, truthful God can exist, and only the Bible references within the first sentence an ultimate, truthful, loving God, as creation is an expression of love. This is why the Bible is the top-selling book worldwide, and Christianity / Judeo Christianity is the leading religion worldwide, because a perfect God would make sure of that. And you could look this up on Guinness World Records. You could look this up on Google. So what's your response to
French fries
2?
are angels, and the only way for French fries to be angels is if the potato lord embodies all non-physical entities. And so it must necessarily be the case that the potato lord embodies all non-physical entities and is the ground of being, and you have to presuppose the potato lord in order to make sentences. And so the only true God is the potato lord. And it's logically impossible for any other God to exist because there can only be one potato lord God, and your God has self-contradictions in it because he's apparently having sex with people while having no face. Yes.
You made a claim, or multiple claims. Firstly, you have no evidence for your potato deity, as I referenced the Bible, because a truthful, loving God would want to make his attributes known. The potato lord
wrote the Bible as a joke.
I said potato is not the name of God. So we are referencing the same God.
The essence of God. There is no name of God. God just has the essence of potato. The potato essence of potato God wrote the Bible as a joke.
No, because Because God created energy / matter. This is what I said.
The potato
physical
Lord
deities are
created
illogical.
energy and matter, and it created the Bible, and it created Jesus as a joke.
No, creation means out of nothing. So a
Yes, the
physical
potato
deity
Lord
can't.
created it out of nothing. Duh. Easy. Like just basic logic here. The potatoes can create things out of nothing. Didn't you know that? It's basic science.
No, because the potato you're referencing is energy and matter. So it's hypothetically
Potatoes are not
creating
energy and
more
matter.
of
Potatoes
itself.
are essence of magic.
What is your definition of essence?
Essence? Essence is the substance of.
Yes, and a substance would have a fundamental attribute.
No, substance
either
is what it's made of. So if it's made of pure essence of
immaterial
magic,
or physical,
then it's pure essence of reality magic. Potato.
that would be magic. Would just be a
Hail
semantic
potato.
label to
You have to say the potato prayer. Hail potato, full of grace. The pasta is with thee.
You're possibly playing semantics here. Magic is a semantic label to immaterialness or etherealness.
You're presupposing the magical non-physical potato to even speak of physicalness, because to speak of physicalness, you need to presuppose the non-physical potato that grounds all potato-ness.
Again, potato was not the name of God.
Potato is the essence of God. Potato is greater than God. It's the ultimateness of ultimacy.
God is not physical defaultly.
Physicalness is an aspect of potato-ness. See, physicalness only exists because the potato Lord created physicalness. It potatoed it into existence from nothing, because potato-ness is the fundamental essence of reality that is before all physicalness. It is the potato-ness that is in you.
You're just making more assertions. Again, God by default is not physical.
I already said that. You're just repeating. The magical potato is not physical. It's immaterial. And the potato is within you. Become one with the potato.
Then that goes back to your assertion. Well, you're possibly alluding to the name of God. The name of God is not potato. And if you assert a magical essence, essence would be a semantic label to immaterialness.
Names aren't matter. I'm talking about the essence of God. The essence of God is potato, and that's why we drink vodka during the Eucharist.
And I clarified
vodka and French fries.
And you
French fries are the body, and vodka is the blood of the magical potato God, and it's non-physical, just like Jesus.
I clarified what you mean by essence in regard to a potato, and you said magical / magic,
no,
which
essence
would further
means the nature of a thing.
Immaterialness.
Yes, that's why I told you it was immaterial. I literally said the potato is immaterial.
This is just semantics now, because you're interchanging.
I need a big irony sign. I need an irony sign to hold up and just irony sign. Irony.
This is semantics now, because you're
irony.
You're interchanging potato to magic and immaterialness. So they are all one and the same. A is A is A. So you got 3 A's. So you're just picking
it's
one.
The Trinity.
A
it is the Trinity of the potato. They are 3 separate things, but they are also identical with themselves. That is the Trinity of the potato, and there is clearly no logical contradiction with the Trinity.
By default, there can only be one God.
No, you were refuting the Trinity. The Trinity, there are 3 in 1. They are 1 in 3. They are all related and the same. He is his father, himself, and his not father. It's all the potato and the magic and the non-physical. They're the Trinity of the potato, the physical, the magic, and the potato. The potato, the non-physical, and the magic. They're the Trinity of the potato.
Only a singular God defaultly can exist.
It's a singular Trinity. There's a singular Trinity. It's a single three things in one Trinity. One singular Trinity, 3 of 1.
I could grant you 3 aspects or attributes, but There can only be one singular eternal mind.
And it's the potato. The potato is the singular eternal non-mind.
No, because when I clarified what you meant by that, you went down to it being immaterial.
That's the Trinity. That's the Trinity. It's the God is the Jesus. It's the potato is the non-physical. Those magic. They're three in one. The three aspects of the oneness of the tater tot potato monster.
Jesus is God.
Jesus presupposes the potato. The potato existed before Jesus.
You have no evidence for this assertion. I'm referencing the Bible.
No, I have evidence. This is why the potato has gifted us the message of the mashed potato. In every mashed potato, you can find the message of the mashed potato. If you look inside of the mashed potato, it just spells out the words, the mashed potato of the wordsness. It gives you the message sent by the mashed potato of all of his doings, which includes making potatoes and Jesus.
You're just making claims. You have no
irony.
Evidence.
Irony.
I'm speaking the truth. I'm not just merely spouting claims.
Irony.
So I'm speaking the truth. You just have to accept that. You're the one making claims.
Irony.
Again, I have evidence, that being the Bible, supporting my categorical
I have
argument.
Evidence. The existence of potatoes. The existence of potatoes proves the potato monster.
You just reference a
if
plural.
The potatoes didn't exist,
monster can't be God.
No. The potato monster. The potato monster created all potatoes. Because if the potato monster didn't create potatoes, there's no other way they could possibly exist. That proves that because potatoes exist, the potato monster definitely 100% exists.
You're contradicting yourself, because a monster can't be God. Definitionally, a monster is a label to a creature, and then you reference
you can label God with monster. There's no problem there. That's not even a problem. That's dumb. God is the ultimate potato monster. What you're presupposing?
No, that's a contradiction.
The potato
in
monster.
God can't.
Presupposing God the potato monster.
God can't be a monster. A monster is a label to a creature.
Tell that to the Christian God who mass murdered babies. Like clearly God can be a monster. This is not even a hard thing to say.
He didn't murder. He killed people, which can be justified
with
because
water. He killed them with
he
water.
knows all things.
He killed them with water and drowned them, and they were babies. That's called murder. That's murdering babies.
No. Because those babies obviously weren't all innocent.
The babies were not. What were the babies guilty of? What crime did the babies commit? Did the babies murder somebody? Where did the babies harm the God? Did the babies punch the God in the genitals? Did he have sex with the babies? And they just said no.
I don't know exactly. All I know is that when God kills people, it is justified because he knows the futures of people. There is a difference between killing and murder. Murder is sin. However, killing can be justified. For example, self-defense.
So if the babies grew up, they were going to kill God. They could hurt the omnipotent God. How could the babies harm the omnipotent being? The God killed them in self-defense. He's like, oh my God, the human babies are going to destroy me. What am I going to do? The babies. Gotta kill the babies.
If the babies did live to adulthood, then they may possibly hurt other people. This is the second greatest commandment in Matthew 22, verse 36 to 40. That is to love your neighbor as yourself. The first greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. So you're
God
just
killed them
making
before they could kill
assertions.
people, and so they didn't commit any sins because he killed them before they could sin.
You're committing the fallacy of megalomania. You are complaining about
wait. So God was
actions.
felt threatened by the babies, and I'm the one that's a megalomaniac. I think this is confusing the terms a little bit. Irony.
You're complaining about God. You are not in the position to judge God's actions, as he is all-knowing. Therefore,
Wait,
he knows
I
the
didn't
futures of
judge God.
people.
I didn't judge God's actions. You just said God couldn't be a monster, and I proved you wrong. He can be a monster. He drowns babies. That's what a monster does. I
No,
wasn't judging
God
any
can't.
actions there. Just descriptive facts.
God can't
If you
be
drown babies,
evil.
you are a monster. Drown babies equal monster. I didn't say evil. I said monster. You said God could not be a monster. I proved God can be a monster because your God is a monster.
No, you can look it up on Google. The definition of a
I'm gonna
monster would
Google
be a creature.
Google. Okay, you have now invoked
So
the Google. So we're
you're
going to invoke the Google sources. Google, is the Christian God a monster? Christian God is a three-headed monster.
you're just
Yes.
appealing. This is
You
a
said to Google
fallacy.
it. I Googled it. I used your source.
I said
You
Google.
said to use Google. I
said
Google.
Google.
I
I said
Googled you.
Google. I said
You
Google. The
Googled it.
definition of
You
a
presuppose the
monster.
potato when you say Google. So the potato created Google.
No.
Google is my evidence of the potato because it wrote Google. It wrote all of the code for Google, and Google would not exist if the potato monster didn't exist.
So you're making too many category errors. Firstly,
Google is the greatly awesomely potato monster's son. Google is the son of the potato monster, and it was given to sacrifices for our sins. And we do potatoes with the greatly awesomely power of the potato monster, which is categorically Google.
You're just making claims. So before you
Irony.
before I'm speaking the truth, before you bring this topic again,
I'm speaking the truth. You are not speaking the truth.
No, you are not.
I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the truth.
You're setting
no, you are
up
not
straw man arguments.
Which one?
So before you make that assertion, you are not God. If you're planning to do that, that's the fallacy of autotheism. So to debunk your straw man, God can't be a monster because a monster is a definition for a creature. A creature is a definition for a temporality. Temporalities are contingent on our Christological God as the primary mover.
The Christological potato presupposes
contingencies.
the Christological God, because the Christological God can only exist because Christological is a property definition of a God, and you can't have properties of a non-physical being that created the universe. So it's only possible that the Christological potato presupposes the Christological God. Therefore, Christological potato created everything.
Not potato. When I reference Christological, that's in regards to Jesus. So when I say Jesus is God,
the true Christological is about crystals. The crystals are what the potato means. Christological means crystals. It's crystals. Christological.
Chris.
Like
I'm not
like
referencing
amethysts,
crystals.
emeralds, diamonds, rubies. Christological. They're crystals.
Christological is in regards to Jesus. So when I say Jesus is God, that's tautologists for saying that our Christological God exists.
When I say that Christological refers to the crystals that the potato monster created, I say it's synonymous with the crystal God exists. The crystals that were created by the potato.
You're just making claims. We are
Criscological.
Potato is not the name of God. We are referencing the same immaterial
God is not the name of the potato.
Potato is a temporality with edges. It's a finite particular.
God is an individual person
absolute.
who must exist in space-time. And for individuals with space-time to exist, there must be a grand potato to have created space-time. So you're presupposing the potato.
God is unaffected by space-time / space.
No, God makes his opinions and changes and stuff. He does stuff in the Bible with his opinions over time, and he does things in 7-day periods, like create the universe. God is affected by time. Only the true potato is not affected by time.
Hang on, you made a claim. So I'm reading it. So God's unaffected by time / space-time, even though temporalities exist.
Did God do something on the second day? Did God do something on the second day?
I will address this. I'm reading this word for word off my project. So it's about
did
2
did
or
God
3
do
sentences. Hang on,
did God
give
do something
me
on the second
some
day?
time with this.
No, I want an answer. This
Yeah.
is important. Did God do something on the second day?
Yes, this will address your question. Please
I want
save
like a
your
yes or
questions till
no.
after.
Yes or a no.
This will address your
This
question.
is not a yes. This is a this, which is not a yes nor a no. I want a yes or a no.
The first day or second day would be a temporality. I was saying this. You need to give me time.
Right.
So
yes, that's why I asked. Did God do something on the second day?
Give me 2 sentences.
You can't have
So
2 sentences because 2 sentences presuppose the potato. 2 sentences presupposes the potato.
Made a claim. You've made a claim. God is not subjected to time/space time.
No,
Give me
I
time
asked
to
a question.
respond.
Did God
Give
do
me
something?
time to respond.
I didn't make a
You
claim.
made a claim.
I asked a question.
Yes, you did.
There's a difference
You
between
made
a
a
claim and a question.
claim, and then you give me time. You made a claim.
asked a
I'm
question.
refuting your claim,
No,
and now you're setting up a red herring with a question, which I'm already addressed your question.
What was the answer?
Me
What
to
was the answer to the
respond.
question? You said you addressed the question. What was the answer to the question? Did God do
So-
something on the second day?
So, yes, the first
So he's affected
day or
by
the
time.
second day.
GG. You see, potatoes exist
No,
outside
give me
of time.
time to respond.
You can't have time
Give
because
me
God's outside of
time
time,
to
right?
respond.
So potatoes
Give
are
me
the only
time
thing
to
outside of time.
respond.
Only the
Give me
magical
time to
potato.
respond.
Only the magical
Give me
potato can
time
give
to
time.
respond.
To have time,
So
you have to presuppose the magical
Stop
potato.
interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. I'm refuting your claim. This is possibly you're committing the heckler's veto. You're interrupting me. This is the heckler's veto. Give me time to respond.
I think
additionally,
we all want
stop
the heckler's
interrupting
veto.
me.
Everyone
God
wants,
is not
everyone wants the
God
heckler's
is not
veto when
subjected to
speaking to you.
time. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting. You made a claim. So God, hang on. Stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Stop over talking me. I'm refuting your claim. You have to respond to this. So God's unaffected by time/space time, even though temporalities exist, as the first temporality/temporalities accommodate his eternality. Thus,
no,
temporalities.
that's the potatoes.
Hang on. I'm not finished yet. Thus, this is the entailment.
Is that what you told God?
I'm going through the entail. This is zeroth order logic.
Did you tell God that you weren't
finished yet? Hang on. I
when
presented a proposition. I'm going through the entailment. This is zeroth order logic. Give me time to respond. You're interrupting me.
I just wanted to know.
Stop interrupting me.
Real quick.
I will address your.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you. So you said you weren't finished yet, and I was just wondering, have you told God that during your sexual intercourse? Is that something you've used during that? You're not finished yet. Have you told him that? Have you told God that? That's all I wanted to know.
Have I told God what?
That you're not finished yet.
Back to your claim.
That you're not finished yet. Is that a thing you've told God?
I don't think I've said that. We can talk about that later, but you've made a claim. You've made a claim. This is serious. You've made a claim against God's eternality. So I have to start again. This is 2 sentences. Give me 2 sentences. So I'm reading this word for word off my project. So God's unaffected by time/space time, even though temporalities exist, as the first temporality/temporalities accommodate his eternality. Thus, temporalities are in temporal or sempiternal time/space time. Conditionally, if God's unaffected, so I'm going through. This is a conditional argument/syllogism. So I'm backing this up with a syllogism/argument. So conditionally, if God's unaffected by time/space time, then he's eternal. God's eternal through sacred theology. Thus, God's unaffected by time/space time.
So Peabot Thulu, one sec.
I've got another
wait. I'm going to mute you. So Peabot Thulu asks, how does someone else approach Ultimated for an interaction? His YouTube channel, I think, is Ultimated Judeo Christian. You can go there. I think there's probably a link or an email or something somewhere on there where you can email him to troll him.
Yes, there's an email there. So you have to respond to my refutation of your claim.
The potato
not
monster
subjected
made
to
space and time and wrote Harry Potter. What is your response?
That's an assertion.
The potato monster wrote
Bible
Harry Potter, which is proof of the potato monster. What's your response?
Potato is not the name of God.
Could you say potato? Could you say potato like that once again? What's your response?
Again, we are referencing the same God. However, I am supporting my argument with the Bible.
No, you've renamed the
Potter.
potato monster. You see, you've just made a different name for the potato monster. The potato monster is the actual
can't
God.
be God.
You're just renaming the potato monster.
Is a label to a temporality. You're conflating terms here. You're committing the fallacy.
You're just renaming the potato monster. You're talking about the potato monster, and you're just remaking it.
A monster can't be God.
A
monster is a label to a finite being. God is absolute, eternal, and revelatory. A monster is a contingent being. I said this to you earlier. You can Google the definition of a monster.
A mind is a contingent being.
No, I've already addressed this with my opener.
Minds are contingent.
No,
monsters are necessary.
I addressed this with my opener. A mind as the necessary prerequisite. So I'm paraphrasing here. A mind has the necessary prerequisite for absoluteness because free will is independent through the law and spiritual law of cause and effect.
Free will has been disproven by every academic field. Only magical potatoes can qualify as the necessary being because magical potato-ness cannot be explained by science, and since it can't be explained by science, it's a necessary being.
I've already gone through this. Free will. So I'm paraphrasing here. Free will must exist.
You can't explain potato peelers.
Stop interrupting me.
What is your response?
Stop interrupting me. You made a claim. Free will must exist because infinite regressions naturally are impossible. I've went through this within my opener, which I can do again. It's an infinite regression is a contradiction in terms because the adjective infinite implies to infinity or ad infinitum. So only an absolute God, aka an infinite in size God, has the necessary prerequisites to be absolute.
I didn't mention an infinite. I said the magical potato, so there's no infinite in anything I said.
You imply that when you objected to free will through the law of excluded middle, if you reject free will, then you have to assert infinite regressions. Regressions connaturally.
No, like I have a necessary being that has no infinite regression, which is the magical potato. And there's no infinite regression there. A magical potato is infinite. It is the necessary being. It is outside of space and time, and there's no infinite regression.
You've just contradicted yourself because the adjective infinite is in actuality a contingent particular. As I've already stated, the adjective infinite, to paraphrase, is it's tautologist for ad infinitum or to infinity. So to give you a better understanding, if you draw a circle,
Mark Reed just discovered a new proof of the potato monster. He just said, "Are you a YouTuber? Because if you are a tuber, then you are a potato, and therefore every YouTuber, since we are on YouTube right now, proves we were created by the tuber potato monster." Debunked. What's your response?
He's possibly just lying. We've spoken many times. I'm assuming this is
He's lying.
The same Mark Reed that I'm referencing.
Oh my god. He's lying.
We've spoken, if this is the same person, we've spoken many times. So don't try to come across as if you haven't heard me before. So that's not to you. That's to the super chat or the message. So Again, infinite regressions are impossible. Therefore, God has to have free will.
Super Squid Hunt asks, ask him if he thinks these arguments are actually convincing to anyone who doesn't already believe in God. Like, I don't think any of his arguments are convincing to anybody who does believe in a God, but we can ignore that for the sake of the argument.
I've converted many people. I've got evidence of this through my YouTube ministry. Some videos being 9 hours plus long with over 200 plus videos. That goes to show how dedicated I am to serving our Christological God. You could email me. So to address your claim, again, potato is a label to a finite particular. God is absolute.
Beatbot asks, you talk so big and mighty, but do you even have a sexual relationship with potatoes? Of course I do. Had so many. I haven't seen their faces though. Lots of sexual relations. Never seen their faces though. Never seen the face of the magical potato monster.
You're not. What don't you? A monster can't be God. A monster is a definition to a creature. You can Google this, type in the definition of a monster. And I will do it as well so we can be on the same page here. So I'll type in monster, meaning. So a large creature, a thing of daunting size. So I'm just paraphrasing them briefly. Nothing about a god within the definition of a monster. So you're committing a categorical error.
God would be a creature, and it would be large and powerful and frightening. So that would literally fit the definition of monster.
God is
literally,
not a
literally would fit the definition
You're
of monster.
contradicting yourself.
What
a creature is a temporality?
No, that's not in the definition of creature.
Yes.
No. The definition of creature here is a fictional or imaginary being, typically a frightening one. Those don't need to be temporal. So there's lots of imaginary beings that don't exist temporally.
There are multiple meanings. You can't just appeal to one source.
That's the one. When we talk about monsters, a monster is a creature. The definition of creature we are using here is the mythical being one that I just read.
Yeah, the ontology of a creature would be finite.
No.
Temporality.
When we're talking about monsters, there are no monster creatures that exist in temporality. None of the monster creatures that are in any historical thing exist in temporality. They are mythical creatures.
You're just contradicting yourself. God created / actualized temporality / creatures.
We got 3 minutes left. If anybody wants to get any more chats or questions in, let me know. Do some more jokes.
You have no evidence. The Bible is the top-selling book worldwide, and Christianity / Judeo Christianity is the leading religion worldwide.
Potatoes are the best-selling food worldwide. Therefore, the potato monster is real.
No, a potato monster would be a label to a creature. A creature would be ontologically
too bad. Potatoes are the best-selling food. Because potatoes are the best-selling food, this proves for a fact the potato monster is real.
God created food
Scotty,
energy and matter.
Scotty super chats. I will pay him to bring 3 people he's converted onto stream.
You could just you just find it on my YouTube ministry. You could even speak to Mark. He was talking about God.
You've converted Mark. You converted Mark Reed. Like, oh wow, that would be a good one. I would be entertained to see a converted Mark Reed talk about the ultimate Judeo Christian worldview. That would be hilarious. Got to see this. This has got to happen. Let's do it. Super Squid Con, thank you for the super chat.
Left?
Just wanted to say this is a wonderful way to spend an hour, very intellectually stimulating. Totally agree. Got like a minute or so.
Is there a Q&A or is it just going to be concluding statements?
Concluding statements, go for it.
Okay, what you said? There's what 3 minutes left. I'll just have to set a timer for this.
1 minute left. Go ahead.
Okay, 1 minute left. So I'll just set a timer.
Mark Reed said he did convert. He admitted to it. Oh wait, no, he converted to the potato monster. I converted Mark Reed to the potato religion, away from your religion. He converted to yours, and he converted to mine. And it's all hail potato lord, Mark Reed. He has admitted that my potato lord is better than yours because it's the ultimate true God. GG. What is your response?
So I need so 1 minute. Again, when I asked you a clarifying question in regards to the essence of your assertion of a potato deity, you responded with it being magical. And then I asked you to clarify what you meant by that. You reference immaterialness. So I can't quote word for word. So I'm paraphrasing here.
It's the Trinity.
So
it's the Trinity of the potato.
You stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. So we are presupposing the same God, material, truthful, loving God, and potato. I am referencing
so wonderful.
the Bible.
You cut out there. You cut out there for a second, and it was hilarious because you said we're referencing the ultimate. Then pause. Potato. Hilarious. Perfect. The potato lord has just muted you at the perfect time to make you acknowledge the existence of the potato lord. You have been debunked by the potato lord himself. The potato lord himself has come down to debunk you.
I said we reference the same immaterial, truthful, loving God, and I'm supporting this with the Bible. You haven't provided epistemic evidence, so there's no way to cross-reference data to your assertion. This is why, again, the Bible is the top-selling book worldwide.
Potatoes are the top-selling food worldwide.
Christianity. You don't know that?
I do. It's a fact of history. It's a fact of science. Potatoes have always been the best-selling food ever in the history of ever, and outside of time. On Mars.
You can't appeal. Appealing to a consensus is fallacious.
Irony. Irony. Irony.
I can appeal to a consensus in regards to the Bible because it references a perfect, infallible God, as God would make sure that the Bible is the top-selling book worldwide, entailing Christianity / Judeo Christianity to be the dominant religion worldwide. So you can't appeal to a consensus at all unless you reference God, entailing our biblical Judeo Christian God. So that's my minute. So we can have.
Okay, that was his minutes. I'm going to go take a nap now because I need to revitalize the dead brain cells somehow. I'm gonna go